And once the boys relaxed and slowly began to return to their spots at the table, each in deep thought.
She'll be back, but she won't kill us. She needs us alive.
Are they all princes or something?
Well, all except Damien, because remember they're all sons of queens.
Whatever. We'll just keep saying no. She can't force us to come back.
Yeah, she can. She can threaten to kill us.
Yeah, or kill me.
Yeah.
She can't do anything but annoy us. Eventually she'll give up.
That's the hope, anyway.
Hopefully. Damien walked over to me and stood before me, looking at me with concern.
We'll protect you. Don't worry.
I nodded, feeling that he was telling the truth, or at least hopeful and comforting thought. Damien gently took my hand in his and brought it up to kiss my knuckles, however making me blush and forget what I was thinking about. The sound of collective chuckles and playful snickers whispered through the air, making me blush even more. But as Damien sighed and cleared his throat, the laughter stopped. They're like, such assholes.
They are dicks. They're like, tee.
I looked up to see he was glaring at his brothers with his lips on my hand. He and I quickly pulled away from each other. Just as the sound of Naomi's car appeared, I quickly ate my food, waved to the boys, and left, confident that nothing was going to happen. Never ever say that nothing will happen before the day is over. I avoided talking about the ride back home yesterday, saying that the ride was a one-time thing. I'll be riding with you guys from now on, to and from school. The girls seemed happy. We entered the school, quickly gathered our things from our lockers, and headed to class. There were no events, to our surprise. History wasn't fun. It wasn't exactly fun, but our teacher was great. At least he would have been great if he was in class that day. Naomi and Suzu took their seats around me. Suzu in front of me, Naomi beside me before the class bell rang, and the class was greeted by the dean.
Students, you'll be having a substitute for class today. Everyone meet...
Diana.
Diana, totally Diana.
Miss Diana.
Oh, she even showed up in the same outfit.
You're not gonna wear clothing for...
You're not gonna wear, like, a pantsuit or something? Something a little more professional?
My heart stopped. At the door where the dean was Diana, looking over at the students and smirking as her eyes landed on me. She strode to the teacher's desk, ignoring or welcoming the whispers from the other students before sitting on the wood and crossing her legs.
Thank you, Dean. You can go now.
All the guys are going wild right now.
With a wave of Diana's hand, the dean left the classroom, closed the door, and left the air. Diana smiled at us, making my stomach turn. What was she going to do?
So, history. History, history, history. Such a silly thing, isn't it? I mean, what do we care about the past? We're in the present.
We learn from the past, you bitch! So we don't repeat
mistakes.
It. Exactly.
The rest of the class, including Naomi and Suzu, hesitantly nodded in agreement, unsure of what this new teacher, but willing to listen to more of what she had to say.
The present is so full of wonderful things. While the labors of the past are the reason we have many things, it is our chance and privilege to utilize what has been given to us.
Her charm was almost infectious. The class was practically starting to eat out of her hand. I looked around to see classmates grinning and agreeing with Diana. I pressed my lips together as I listened further. I had no choice.
What's even funnier about human beings is that some of the bits of history we hear as either made up or completely biased to one side. It's like a story you read as a child. You hear of the princess and the prince, and they live happily ever after. But what about the family she left behind? What of her friends?
She's so definitely threatening us.
The students listened and agreed intently to her words. I could tell, however, that those words were all targeted at me.
The original story of The Little Mermaid, a perfect example of biased opinion. Here we have a girl who thinks she can be with this prince, but this prince has to marry a princess.
Ah, but Damien isn't a prince, so fuck
you!
What would happen if the mermaid had her way? What makes the mermaid so important that the princess has to suffer the consequences?
You're a bitch.
Take Eric and walk away.
They would still get along, too.
Right?
It doesn't matter what happens to the prince, or keep quiet. Because if we say that, everyone's going to turn on us.
Yeah, keep quiet.
I kept my mouth shut. There was no way I was going to let her get to me. Despite her being the teacher, I was going to ignore her. There was no telling what she would do if I talked back. Diana looked at me, expecting me to speak, but I merely stared at her. A smirk graced her face, a glare graced mine. I didn't need to fight to win.
It's still something to think about, however, as we think of this story. It's so easy to believe that the mermaid was the heroine. But what of the poor princess? Why should the princess suffer the antics of a mermaid? The princess didn't do anything wrong to her.
I think that Lady Burial was a princess too.
Yeah, she was a princess. She didn't know enough about.
Yeah, and actually there really was the princess. I mean, Ursula pretended to be a princess, but that's about it.
More nonsense. I knew all this was a subliminal message to me to make me pity her. My anger didn't allow any leeway to feel real pity for her. How long was she planning to drag this out? She wasn't a real teacher. She should have pulled up Cinderella.
Yeah, she should have pulled up Cinderella. That would have been more realistic.
Diana continued to rave about the injustice the princess had to suffer while the mermaid was in the princess's sight. To Diana, it was injustice. To me, it was a fairy tale. The boys chose me, he chose me. She wasn't going to convince them otherwise, and I wasn't going to let her. Diana stretched her arms up, making an obvious sexual noise that made some of the boys in class shift in their seats. I rolled my eyes.
Well, that's enough about fairy tales. After all, the Little Mermaid was fated to lose her prince in the original story anyway. It was for the better, though. The kingdoms, I'm sure, flourished, and the prince and princess lived happily ever after.
She's a bitch.
Yeah.
Not a word.
Not a single word.
I could tell that she was trying to pull me to speak more and more. I knew she was wrong, but I wasn't intimidated enough to fall for her words and speak up. I just decided to just watch and observe for the remainder of class. Her class had become a lecture, and no one spoke as she spouted nonsense. Diana then stopped talking and looked at the clock on the wall, reading it quickly. The class had barely begun. Why was she looking at the time? Diana then leaned against the blackboard and smiled at us. I became worried.
You know what? School isn't important. Everyone, go ahead and head home. Take the week off.
The students suddenly began to chat happily or in confusion of the situation. Many thought it was a dream come true. Others knew better. For anyone could protest, however, Diana pressed a finger to her lips and counted with her fingers in the air. 3, 2, 1. The speakers of the classroom gently awoke, giving us an announcement we would never
Attention students. Due to an emergency faculty meeting, we will be closing school for the remainder of the day and this entire week. Please leave the school quickly and quietly and have a good rest of the week.
Emergency faculty meeting that takes the entire week.
Yep. She used her powers on them. Damn it, I felt the need to stop her. But how could I stop a demon in the middle of a public area? Diana smiled before gesturing to the door.
Have a nice week off. School will resume next week.
Many of the students filed out, chatting to each other about the new impromptu plans. Suzu was beyond happy, but Naomi was hesitant. Before we could pack up and leave, however, Diana stepped to us.
Excuse me, little miss. I'd like you to stay a little while. There's something we need to discuss.
As Diana looked to Suzu and Naomi, she snapped her fingers, making my friends
You
tense up.
two can head home. Don't worry about your friend until next week, okay? If you contact her, she won't reply, so don't bother. If she contacts you, ignore her, because she's just fine.
As if on command, Suzu and Naomi left the room. I tried to march after them, but Diana stepped in my path, warning me with her eyes that if I followed, there would be hell to pay. I had lost my two friends, at least for the week. Diana and I were alone, just like she wanted. I slammed my hands on the desk in front of me and glared at Diana. What are you doing and what are you thinking?
What? Do I not make a good teacher? I figured you should have a little lesson, so I took matters into my own hands.
Whatever you're trying to do won't work.
You really think so, dear? And what makes you so sure about that?
What was making me so sure? Why was I confident? Were the boys worth this?
Totally.
Yeah. My thoughts began to fill with doubt. All of the uncertainties about this whole ordeal began to cloud my mind. The boys were ever found out, there'd be hell to pay. Was it worth it? What about Diana? What would she do to me? Would she make my parents forget about me completely? Would she ruin my friends' lives out of spite? In my gut, I felt so uncommon to try to fight back, but the heaviness of my thoughts began to dissolve to stone little by little. What was going on with me? I looked up to Diana once again to see her gaze boring into my eyes. She was using her powers on me. This time, I was away from home, so I couldn't escape. Or could I? Did I want to? The way she stared at me made me feel warm and fuzzy inside my chest. I felt like melting. Diana lifted a hand under my chin and ran her thumb over my lips, licking her own. I could feel little shots of energy zipping from under my skin into my chin where she held me.
Now, let's have a little taste of that sweet, virginal sexual energy.
I hope when the boys come in.
Can't you just go like, it was wrong?
I know. I watched as she leaned in, ready to kiss me and take my energy. Half of my body felt elated at the idea. The other half completely rejected it and didn't want her to even touch me.
Wrong word! Wrong name!
Suddenly, Diana stopped in her tracks.
Damien, who is...
It then dawned on her.
Ah, one of the boys. Why don't you tell me which boy is Damien?
No. I felt myself nodding in compliance. We say his name when he comes, though.
Yeah.
Like, ah.
Dad! Say the name! Israel!
The youngest. Diana giggled and replied before letting go of my face and stepping back.
Really? The bastard's son with you?
I nodded once again, but this time it was partly my own decision to reply. Diana let out a sound that mimicked a cat's purr before stepping away from me.
Alright then. Well, if it's the youngest son you're infatuated with...
She's gonna go after him, this is it. We should have lied!
But she only wants the prince.
We should have lied, though! Diana chuckled for kissing my nose, where I felt a shot of energy that down the butt, almost making me dizzy and recoil. Diana then turned to the desk and sat on the wood, crossing her legs.
You can go now. Remember, no class for the rest of the week.
And how am I supposed to get home? My two friends left me here thanks to you.
Oh, were they your ride? My apologies. Let me help then.
Is she gonna like appear in the middle of the house and the boys be like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, pretty much. Diana then lifted her hand and snapped her fingers. I suddenly felt the floor sink from underneath me, forcing me to look down. A purple pentagram surrounded my feet, pulling me into the ground. Whoa! Before I could fight, however, I sank fully into the floor, fading in darkness and shutting my eyes. As I opened them, I felt my silk sheets around me, soothing my anxiety from the darkness that had previously surrounded me. What the? Why did Diana bring me home? Was this an illusion? Was I being tricked? Something was going on.
Right?
She's gonna go after Damien now.
Yeah. But I'm still confused because she wants a prince. And Damien's not royalty.
Yeah, he's not a noble, so. I sat up and probably to try to get me to make the other boys go. And
Probably.
I sat up in bed looking around me. I was indeed in my room. There was no mistake about that. Why? Diana is too strange. Was this a game? Was this part of her plan to get the boys back? I was lost and confused more than ever. Despite my logical thought trying to piece the puzzle that is Diana together, the more I tried to solve her, the less I understood about the situation I was in. I was interrupted, however, by my door suddenly opening, revealing the boys with Damien's hat on the doorknob.
Miss, what are you doing here?
I just got teleported here. What do you think?
Damien is. He's like,
Aren't you supposed to be in school?
No, I'm skipping.
What? No, it sounds like I left like an hour ago. Psh, nah.
It's not like I didn't come in through the front door. I just randomly popped in my room. Every human can do that. Didn't you know? I furrowed my eyebrows and stared at Damien, asking him to answer the questions through my thoughts.
It's like, Damien, I don't give a shit right now. Can you answer this for me, please?
Diana sent her back here. She invaded her school and sent all the students back home.
What is that bitch up to? Seriously! Diana's playing around for no reason.
Maybe it's part of her plan.
The boys continued to argue back and forth about Diana feeling an almost jealous curiosity of me. Damien seemed to be too deep within talking to notice my thoughts, for he didn't even stop talking alongside his brothers. Why was Diana after them? Why did she want to bring them back? What was so important about the boys that she would travel to the human world to get them? What was going on? I decided enough was enough. I needed answers. I'm not yelling at their parents.
And they were like, what? What was that low noise?
The boys stopped arguing, staring at me in surprise. I held my hands in fists. Someone laughed, mustering the courage to continue to speak despite my abrupt shout.
Hey! You all suck.
Listen to me.
Hey, listen.
Why is Diana here? Why does she want to bring you all back? What exactly did you all run from? Why did you run from it? I love other expressions because we probably don't yell a lot. So
Miss, we...
Don't miss me, please. I need to know what's going on. I won't be left in the dark about this. I need to know what I'm facing.
Oh, Damien.
The boys looked at each other hesitantly, unsure of what to reply. Finally, Sam pushed Damien towards the bed, making him buckle and land on his knees with his torso over the edge of the mattress.
Damien, do the thing.
Am I a thing now?
I know, right? It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? The thing? What thing?
Sam, you're not suggesting.
Why not? She deserves to know everything. Especially if Diana is targeting her.
Sam's right.
I guess we have no choice then.
I was getting confused. What was Damien about to do? We're about to
Transform into your demon form, please! I'm so excited.
Damien stood before climbing onto the bed with me, sitting across from me on his knees.
We're going to show you everything. You have to trust me, okay? The minute you stop trusting me, the vision will
Oh,
stop.
he's gonna input his thoughts into my
Vision?
Just trust me.
What? I looked at Damien unsure of what was going on, but I nodded. If this was the only way to learn, then this was my chance to know. Did I just hear a heartbeat? Damien gently placed his hands on each side of my head, gently pressing his thumbs into the skin above my eyebrow. I could only stare at Damien as his eyes began to glow gold and energy began to be pulled out of me and forced into my head. Within seconds, my vision went black. Once again, I was unsure of what Damien was doing, but soon shapes and textures slowly began to appear around me. What? That's pretty.
It is. Must be the castle.
Yep. I found myself sitting on the stone floor in the middle of what looked like a fantasy throne room. Where am I?
You're in Game of Thrones.
I looked down at myself to stand only to see my body as translucent as a ghost. Whoa! I jumped up to expect my hands in a sudden panic. I was see-through! What? What was going on?
How dare they try to negotiate with me? Do they not know whom they speak to?
Is that their father?
That sounds like Sam!
That
It sounds like Sam!
It possibly is Sam.
I gasped and ran behind a nearby pillar away from the boys. The sound of his anger and words frightened every bone in my body, turning me into a frightened child.
My lord, please calm yourself.
Calm? They're merely testing my resolve. I have more than half of a mind to send my greatest armies to take what should be mine. They are mere insects in the way of my kingdom's expansion.
They merely asked for a marriage joining.
That is like an elephant. It's like they merely asked for a marriage joining, you moron. That's what I'm thinking he's thinking in his head.
Yeah.
So I'm to bow to them and share my land that I have so rightfully conquered?
I peeked from behind the pillar to see a large demon covered in royal clothes, but buff enough to be a military commander. His rage practically emanated from his body as he growled at his servant.
They are willing to give their land to you, sire.
That's
All they ask is for one of your sons to marry their daughter, whom I might add is as beautiful as can be.
Their father looks hot. Ish.
The servant looks really cute, though.
The servant is cute in like a little pet or brother way.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. To suggest that I need their approval to take their land is beyond insanity. What makes them think I care about their precious daughter?
I wonder who Sam got his personality from.
Gee, I wonder who possibly got that personality.
I mention that she is a prodigy of her kind, sire?
A prodigy?
She's like, what?
Yes, my lord. This succubus is a master of her skills in magic and mind manipulation. She is said to sway armies with a snap of her fingers, despite being as young as she is.
Impossible!
If only it were, sire. This succubus is dangerous, but would be a great asset to have should we agree to this arrangement. The only reason she cannot faze you, my lord, is because you are the strongest demon in the plains.
Yeah, but she can't influence his sons either, so.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe that.
Is this supposed to change my mind?
Yes, my lord.
He's like, I'm not buying this.
I know, he's like, this is supposed to change my mind. And the dude's like, yes. He's like, yeah, no.
You are doing a terrible job at convincing me.
Okay, this demon lord's acting like me right now. And he's like, this is supposed to convince me? Yes. Yeah, no.
It's like, nah, I'm good.
No.
I'll just attack
My
you.
apologies, sire.
I was lost. I could tell they were talking about Diana, but why?
Father.
Oh, which one is it?
I quickly turned my head to see another demon, who looked like a mere child staring the demon commander on the throne. Father?
Ah, Raystrout.
Oh.
Have you finished your training?
Yes, Father.
Who?
Then what do you want?
I want to be with my brothers the best of the day, Father.
Probably James.
Probably. The demon commander walked to the young demon and gripped his hair, picking him off the ground and forcing him to look up at a snarl. The young demon, however, looked unfazed.
Huh. Arrogance. Why should I allow you to be with them? I should kill you for your lack of respect to me.
Because I want to be with them, Father.
That is James.
That is totally James.
I can only stare at the young demon face his father. Despite the massive difference between them, this young demon seemed weaker and easy to kill versus the demon commander. Why would this man kill his son, though? Was this commander that ruthless? He's trying to get his sons to have a backbone, probably.
Yeah.
Crap, I just left clicked again. Fuck. I'm gonna save. Why the fuck not?
What is it?
However, I wasn't expecting him to laugh and release this demon. The young demon. I just accidentally clicked the wrong way, so.
Good! Assertive even in the face of danger. That is why you are my favorite son.
I could only stare wide-eyed as the commander placed his hand on the demon's shoulder.
Very well.
Place his hand.
Go. Tomorrow, you will show me your training.
The little demon grinned widely before running off.
I have a thought.
Yes, my lord.
How old is this daughter?
As old as your fifth, sire.
Oh, she's
Damien.
as old as Damien?
Do you believe this proposal is worth it?
Yes, sire.
Tell those insects that they are safe for now. I will consider their offer.
Sire, are you certain?
I love it. He's so surprised, like,
It's like, wait, what? You actually agree to it?
Did I stutter? Now go!
The demon servant quickly ran off, but as soon as he vanished, he passed the pillar I was hiding behind. He, along with the commander, vanished into thin air. What the? What had happened? I didn't get the time to try to figure that out before a demon who looked around my age walked into the room reading a book. Is that?
Raystrout, your nose is stuck in those books. Will you not lift your head up from them once in a while?
Huh? That voice. I circled around the pillar to see a second demon leaning against another pillar and smirking at Raystrout.
Aren't you supposed to be with your mother practicing the harpsichord?
It's like, go away.
I am, but I had a feeling that you were in danger.
In danger? What are you...
Attack!
team up of all the younger siblings against the oldest one.
All of a sudden, Zishan zipped through the room and slammed into Race Girl, forcing him to fall to the ground and drop his book. As the sight cleared for me, there were 3 other demons in a dog pile that raced her at the bottom.
Get up! No way! You haven't had a break in months from those stupid books. It's time for punishment!
That's so Sam.
That is totally Sam. There's no doubt in my mind.
Death by brotherhood!
Matthew!
No more reading!
Vivian!
I told you that you were in danger.
Totally Eric!
I suddenly knew who those demons were. It's the boys. Even in the demon world, their brotherly connection was astounding. They were merely younger versions of themselves.
Can we see them?
No. One of the demons, who I assumed was Matthew, grabbed the book from the floor and opened it, reading it mockingly.
How can you read this, Racer? It's all about war strategy. It's boring.
I have to, Zakaru. Get off!
There's only one thing you need to know about strategy. Kill them all. Take no prisoners.
God damn it, Sam.
You sound just like father.
I couldn't help but giggle. It was cute to see them acting childish with each other. Eventually, James managed to push his brothers off him and stand, brushing himself off.
You all are reckless. At least we have fun.
It's true. You haven't been with us in weeks. Don't you think it's time for a break?
I'm sure father won't mind.
But I have to...
I know you want to, Raestro.
It's like, I can read your mind!
What is going on here?
Nothing.
Nothing at all!
I shot my head to the boys to see the commander, aged a little, staring at the boys with his arm across his chest. Damien quickly dressed and hid behind Sam, picking over his shoulder to see the large commander. Why do I have a feeling the commander doesn't really like Damien?
Yeah, probably not.
Nothing is going on. We just passed by each other.
Then why does your brother have your book?
Because they tackled me to the ground and took it, okay?
Well, I would have been like, I just simply dropped it and he was picking it up from me.
I was showing him what I was learning, Father.
Return to your studies, Raestrow. The rest of you out of my sight. Do not disturb your brother again.
I could only stare as James gently took his book and, without looking at his brothers, returned to reading. The commander walked past the remaining brothers, growling at Sam and Damien before leaving the room. What was up with that?
Don't worry about it. We'll find a way to get him back.
I don't know. He's on a very tight leash.
Ezreal, you're quiet. What did you hear?
He's going to a negotiation meeting. He's going to arrange a marriage.
A marriage? For who?
It must be for one of us.
He hasn't decided who will marry her. It's a girl from a kingdom he wants to take over.
But that's uncharacteristic of him. Usually he'd just attack with the army.
Whatever the case is, one of us is getting married.
I hope it isn't me.
Matthew.
What about Raestro? He's the eldest.
It would make sense, but having a succubus marrying one of us means that she'll be practically married to all of us.
Well, what should we do?
What?
That was a weird statement, but I can understand what he means.
Because they're all going to be together no matter what.
Yeah.
So they'll all be there all the time, so.
Yeah.
Before the conversation could continue, the boys vanished into thin air. Fitting in a different colored mist, they were replaced by an older Damien and Matthew sitting with each other in the middle of the throne room.
Do you think we should?
I really want to.
I want to as well. Still, it'll be hard to convince Racer, since he's the one about to be married and he's the favorite.
We don't know that, Zakeru. Maybe she's set to marry you.
No way! I don't want to get married.
He's like, screw
I don't
that.
think you'll have a problem with that baby face of yours.
I looked over to see Sam join the duo, crossing his arms and raising an eyebrow at his brothers.
What are you two talking about?
We got into contact with the human world again.
Come on, Ezreal. You give humans too much attention.
No way, you gotta listen. They apparently have stores and books and schools and stuff.
So what? It's full of humans who piss on each other for no reason. They're no better than the devil spawn.
Wait. Was this made by, was this made in, like, England or something?
Maybe.
Because, I know, like, in England, it's instead of saying like you piss someone off, they say you piss on them. So I was thinking.
Nuh-uh. The one we were talking to wasn't like that.
How do you know, Sakeru?
Because I do.
What is going on here?
They want to go to the human world.
The human world?
Raisuro, think about it. You won't have to marry that girl and be the heir anymore. You could be with us, and we can make lives for ourselves in the new world.
Now you're just talking nonsense.
I vote that we do it.
Huh? Oh, not you two.
Think about it. This may be our chance to finally get away from this political nonsense we're stuck in. We may be nobles, but we're still our own beings.
Ristrao is in.
What? Azrael!
Whoa, so how do we get there?
Are you kidding me? You don't even know how we'd get there.
I still love
A simple spell should work, but it would require someone from the human world to help us get there.
We can ask him.
Oh, he'd definitely help us.
Is it our grandfather?
Oh my god.
That's probably our grandfather.
It's most likely our grandfather.
I'm not so sure about...
Reistra, aren't you tired of pleasing father all of the time?
I am, but...
If you stay, you'll be married off and become ruler of father's kingdom. You'll have no time for yourself or with us, and you'll be constantly at war with the other realms for power. You'll most likely turn into the spitting image of father.
What he's saying is, get your head out of your ass and let's go. If you don't say yes, I'll drag your princely ass with us. I don't care what that bastard of a father wants.
Come on, Raisuro.
All right, let's do this. What's the plan?
I couldn't believe what was happening. I was seeing the history of their lives before my eyes. They were nobles, and James was the heir to the kingdom the commander ruled. Even more so, he's going to be married to Diana. They don't know if that's true, though. He might not be married to her. They sacrificed everything to leave and be together. They'd rather be free than remain in their noble roles. I started to feel a little jealous. They were able to leave while I was still expected to be what my father wanted me to be. How they were able to leave was uncertain still, but I knew I would learn in time. I closed my eyes and mentally asked Damien to end the vision. As soon as I asked, the world around me slowly vanished, and I was brought back to the bedroom where I sat with my head nestled in Damien's hands. My vision began to clear, letting me fully see the boys around me, all with concerned faces.
So, you now know exactly who we are.
Ish.
Diana is the girl you were arranged to marry.
Not anymore. Once we left, the arrangement was broken. With no sons to marry off, her dad couldn't go through with the marriage deal.
If Diana is here for us, that means she's trying to save her kingdom from being attacked.
That's not true. She wants to rule our kingdom. Having one of us will give her the right to our kingdom, as much as we'd have right over hers.
So she's a gold digger.
God damn it, Matthew, I love you.
Well, with a kingdom like ours, what succubus wouldn't want to marry us for it?
It all made sense. She wanted them so she could finally take over an opposing kingdom. She knew that despite her power, she wouldn't be able to fight against their father, so she had to find another way in. That manipulative. Before I could continue, I felt my head suddenly get heavy and dizzy. I gripped my head, mewling under my breath. What the?
I took too much. I'm so sorry.
Rest now. There's no need to do anything more today.
The boy suddenly rushed over and helped me lay down as my vision was painted in white polka dots. I needed sleep badly. Instantly, I closed my eyes and let darkness consume me. So if you have one of them, you have them all, pretty much, is what's happening.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I hope that doesn't mean sexually, too. That'd be awkward. So we have a harem, pretty much. Okay.
Yep.
After what seemed like hours, I finally woke up slightly refreshed. My body knew that if I slept any longer, I'd be up all night, which was not part of the plan of the day. I rubbed my eyes and sat up, letting a soft groan escape my lips. In response, something beside my bed shuffled, causing me to look over. I didn't know what I was expecting.
I was expecting Damien. I don't know what you were talking about.
Beside me, sitting in a chair beside the bed, was Damien, rousing himself up to see me awake. I smiled at him, seeing his slightly ruffled hair and tired eyes.
Oh, you're awake. How do you feel?
Better.
You would totally be like, eh. But yeah, better.
Damien nodded before he looked down at the bed, taking my hands into it.
I'm sorry. This is all my fault.
Damien, it's not your fault.
No, it is. I was the one who wanted to come to the human world. I convinced the others to come with. If I never did that, we'd never have put you in danger like this.
And we never would have met.
I quickly reached over and put my finger on his lip, stopping him from going any further. I didn't want to hear anymore. Damien, it's okay. I wanted to help you out. I offered to let you all stay. Nothing's your fault. I gently moved my hand and cupped Damien's cheek, staring at him with concern. I didn't want him to hold guilt in his mind about this whole ordeal. Diana was desperate and she'd hunt anyone for them. It wasn't his fault she was desperate enough to hunt them down. One thing bothered me though. Why did his dad scorn him? Why did Damien want to run away? The others seemed a little obvious, but Damien was a mystery. However, before I could be vocally curious, Damien gently held my hand in his hand. Damien? Damien frowned and simply held
I'll
me.
show you everything.
Oh, he's about to show her why he's afraid of him. Damien let out a small laugh, a hint of depression lingering in the breath he let out. Before he focused his energy into my head, my vision blurred and suddenly I was back in the demon castle. I expected to see Damien wandering around the halls or with his brothers, however I found him alone, sitting on the foot of the throne and tearfully crouched into the ball. The room smelled of blood, but my eyes couldn't look away from the tearful Damien. Damien. I knew he couldn't hear me, but I instinctively called out to him. He looked lonely. Where were his brothers?
Why are you crying?
Grandfather.
I knew it! I knew it!
Damien picked his head up suddenly as I did.
Who are you? What do you want? I just want to know if you're okay. Who are you? Don't be afraid. I'm just a friend.
That's not creepy at all.
Yeah, no, don't question me at all. I'm not just a strange human that appeared out of nowhere in the center of the demon
And we
world.
don't even see our grandpa right now. So,
Friend?
I stood completely in shock. How did? When did? My grandfather knew them? Everything started going in fast forward. I saw Damien talking to the voice of my grandfather, seeing his sad face go from happy to surprised to fascinated. The cycle randomly. There were even moments when Matthew joined him, letting Damien speak for the voice in the air. It was all unbelievable. Here my grandfather spoke of the human world, painting it to be a beautiful world full of opportunity. How did my grandfather know about all of this? What was going on? My mind suddenly spun to the idea that my grandfather delved into magic and demons. Eventually the world around me slowed down to see the boys standing before the empty throne. They all looked determined, stout, and ready for something to happen. Damien stepped forward and held his hand out to the throne.
O tenebris portas, aperiat nobis, laudiatur exitum, desiderium.
My grandfather started to chant a phrase unfamiliar to me, letting it rupture into the air around the boys. A gust of wind started to brush through the storm like a storm rushing in. I watched, however, as a small tear opened in the air in front of the throne. It glowed an unholy purple color, peeking into a very familiar pink cafe. So her grandfather found him after he did this for them.
Yeah.
No way, that's... Quickly, Sam rushed over and drove his hands through the tear, pulling it open and making it larger and revealing the pink lady cafe with my grandfather on the other side. My grandfather held out his hand, ushering the boys to come.
Hurry up, boys! I can't hold it open for long!
Instantly, the boys ran through the tear, climbing through and almost crashing into the tables and chairs of the cafe. I felt myself move through as well, joining them as my grandfather closed the portal. The boys looked around at the space, almost mystified at the sight. My grandfather laughed, out of breath before sitting down at one of the nearby tables.
There now. Welcome to the human world, boys. Let's see. Kay, make us some coffee, please. These boys need a drink.
Is Kay a part of this?
Apparently. I turned to see Kay, the owner of the cafe and the only other person in the room besides the boys, smile and quickly get to work on making coffee. I was dumbfounded. She knew about them? I felt myself getting dizzy at the thought, but I shook my head and tried to focus on what was going on. My grandfather looked at the boys up and down before chuckling again. The boys must have been speechless.
You'll need a spell to cover yourselves up. Humans don't exactly have horns or parade around naked.
The boys looked at each other before collectively nodding and focusing their energies. Before my eyes, they went from demons to human-looking demons. They looked to each other, ecstatic with their new looks. My grandfather, however, cleared his throat and brought attention back to him.
Now don't be rude to Kay now. Sit and enjoy some coffee. It's the best in town.
The boys obeyed, obviously in his debt. I looked at Damien's face and he was almost in tears with joy. I could tell he was beyond happy to be in the human world. I almost felt like crying for him, but I couldn't understand why. Maybe it was his facial expressions, or maybe it was because I would meet him soon after this fact. Eventually, Damien stopped the magic, lowering his hands and letting me come back to reality. I held on to Damien, who kept a hold of me to make sure I didn't faint. Her grandfather died after this, didn't he?
Yeah.
This is probably why he died.
Yeah.
I feel horrible now.
Yeah.
Everything felt so wrong, and yet it all made sense at the same time. My grandfather knew magic. My grandfather helped the boys. He cast a spell in the mansion and on me to protect me.
I was the one who convinced everyone to come to the human world. I was also the one who asked that man, your grandfather, to bring us.
So he helped you come through? What happened after?
He gave us a wallet full of fake IDs and maps of the world. He told us to go anywhere we wanted and that he would pay for everything so we wouldn't have to use our magic. It was like he made us human.
Damien laughed nostalgically. I could tell he was happy remembering how my grandfather had helped. I still couldn't wrap my head around it, but the answers I wanted were 6 feet under and unreachable now. You really wanted to be human. Damien looked at me, his eyes glimmering with hope and shame.
More than anything, I still want to be human. I don't mean just in looks. Everything.
Damien looked into his hands, lowering them to the bed between us.
Humans don't read minds. Humans don't hurt people like demons do. I didn't ask to be a demon. I want to learn things, go places, and not have to be bound by magic or anything.
I stared. It was pitiful to see him like this. He looked almost like a child, begging me for something he really wanted. I wanted to help somehow. I just didn't know how.
It's all right.
Damien?
You've already done so much for me and my brothers. Sheltering us. Letting us continue to live here.
Damien frowned, though, gently caressing my cheek with his hand.
I don't want you to get hurt because of us.
You better not leave. God, you better fucking not leave.
God damn it, Damien. No. Fuck.
Damien lowered his head in shame. I couldn't help but feel my heart squeeze within my chest at the sight. He truly cared. Damien let out a small sigh before looking at me with a new smile. He hid his sadness well, but I could tell he was still upset about the whole ordeal.
All right. You should sleep.
Damien gently pressed me back down onto the bed, resolved in what had happened.
Steal a kiss.
Yeah, I'm fucking so But I couldn't let him leave without doing something. Ugh, kiss.
Oh, you don't want to read it?
No.
Okay. I quickly pulled Damien down to me. I lifted my head and gently kissed him, softly laying a hand on his cheek to keep his face close. Damien stared at me in deep surprise before hesitantly kissing me back, caressing my cheek and slightly melting at the touch of our lips.
His face!
He was like, what? Oh, okay. A soft sigh escaped his lips before he slowly pulled away with a smile. He gently licked his lips, making me go red in the face at the simple gesture. He let out a soft sigh, a satisfied sigh before nestling my forehead.
Go to sleep.
And with that, he stood up and left the room, leaving me to rest as per his request. I smiled to myself before relaxing into the mattress.
How pathetically sweet.
Fuck.
Knew it.
I knew it!
I suddenly tensed up. I felt majorly uneasy. She was here. quickly looked around the room, sitting up straight, before seeing Diana leaning against the window with a small smirk towards me. What do you want?
Oh, I just wanted to see how close Damien was to you. Obviously, he's very close.
Obviously.
I stood from the bed, glaring daggers at Diana. And what's it to you? He doesn't want to leave with you, so leave him alone.
Oh, I will. I don't care enough for the bastard son to try and take him away. I just want you to know exactly what you have.
What are you talking about? Diana chuckled, which made me slightly sick to my stomach for some reason. She knew something.
Did Damien tell you about what he lived through?
He showed me when he left. He met with...
No, not that. Before that. Did he show you anything before that?
Well, he was scorned by the Demon Lord.
He didn't show you everything, did he?
She's gonna show us, so we'll be afraid of him.
Yeah.
Why would he need to? He showed me what he needed to.
I don't need to show her anything else.
Damien didn't really leave. I turned to Damien to see Damien glaring at Diana with a scary glare. I felt dark shivers down my spine as I stared at him.
Damien. Right on cue. I was just about to show her why you hate your life and why you have a human fetish.
Okay.
It's like, alright then, that's one way of wording it.
Okay.
You will not show her anything.
Oh, I won't. Funny. I don't believe you get to tell me what to do, bastard son.
You know, if we dated James, she'd probably be more upset because that was the one she was supposed to marry.
Yeah.
Before Damien or I could leap at her throat, Diana stabbed her finger, suddenly making the room spin. I quickly grabbed onto Damien, who held me as close as the room suddenly began to change from my room to the demon castle. We're not really there, are we?
I don't think so.
That would suck.
Well, no, because she would go with the whole, like, sinking through the floor and whatnot.
I looked around, feeling unable to move from Damien's embrace out of the dizziness. I looked at Diana, who was leaning on a pillar on the far side of the room with a smirk. However, my focus gathered on a pair of demons, one of them being the demon servant that was with the demon lord carrying sheets and books across the room. Ooh. He took books. Break time! I hit 3. So, yeah. You game.